Zoom Zoom. You feel it. And with extra value now at Mazda, it's time to own it. Go for Mazda CX-3 Neo from $22,490 drive away, plus a $500 Go bonus. It's time to go.
Sate's Family Butcher, across the road from Swan Hill Library, with the meat you can eat. Mix FM News.
Part of the Ace Radio Network, 107.7 and 98.7 Mix FM.
13 degrees in Melbourne, rain, windy, atop today, 16, 9 o'clock. Good morning. I'm David Armstrong. Electricity prices in Victoria are set to rise 25%. The Essential Services Commission has just announced its default offer for the year. It equates to $352 extra for residential customers, $752 more for small business. Around 15% of households are currently on the Victorian default offer. Music fans around the world are remembering Tina Turner after her death at the age of 83. The Queen of Rock and Roll sold more than 100 million records worldwide, winning 12 Grammys over a 50-year career. Turner's publicist says she died peacefully at her home in Switzerland following a battle with a long illness. Music historian Glenn A. Baker says Australia had a special love affair with the performer.
We simply loved her all the way through from River Deep Mountain High, which was never a big hit in America, but in England and Australia was a massive top 3 hit.
CCTV footage has been released of a Volvo as part of the investigation into a fatal stabbing in Melbourne southeast earlier this year. Here's Pat Mitchell.
45-year-old Port Melbourne man Daniel Cockrell was driven to Casey Hospital in Berwick, having suffered a life-threatening stab wound to his upper body around 7:30am on March 26. The driver of the Volvo sedan got out and called for help, pulling his unconscious passenger from the car before getting back in the vehicle and fleeing. Paramedics and hospital staff began working on the 45-year-old, but he died minutes later. A 40-year-old Port Melbourne man arrested later that day was released without charge. Homicide Squad detectives believe there may have been a third person in the Volvo and have today released CCTV footage calling on witnesses to come forward. Pat Mitchell, 9 News.
The nation's health regulator prosecuted more cases against healthcare workers in Victoria than any other state. 35 of the 100 criminal cases against deceptive healthcare workers since 2014 have been here in Victoria. More than half of those cases involved fake practitioners. Dozens of climate activists are roaming Melbourne, blocking intersections in a bid to raise awareness and push for greater action on climate change. The Extinction Rebellion demonstrators currently blocking the intersection of Latrobe and Swanston streets outside RMIT University. It is the third intersection targeted by the demonstrators in the past hour. Bar staff at the Lion at Melbourne Central have returned $2,000 to a woman who was rescued from a toilet after a heavy night of drinking. Sarah joined in a drinking session with workmates when she fell ill. A staff member managed to scramble over into the toilet cubicle to get her out. In a fit of appreciation, Sarah gave them $2,000.
The lady who I transferred the money to, because I had no recollection of doing it until the next morning, she found me via social media and called a previous workplace who then contacted me. And, so I gave her a call, not knowing who she was, and she said she wanted to return the money.
Oprah Winfrey could be parachuted into the US Senate. California's governor reportedly considering the talk show host to replace 89-year-old Senator Dianne Feinstein, who is poised to retire.
Sport for Harvey Norman Swan Hill.
Hawthorn President Andy Gower says it's sad to watch both Alastair Clarkson and Justin Reeves have to take time away from football. Reeves has quit as Hawks chief executive, citing the toll of the club's racism review. Gower's telling Wide World of Sports the club's trying to stay positive as the AFL's independent racism investigation continues.
One is really more than disappointing. It's very sad and it's tough to watch and witness, Alice's situation and with Justin. But at the same time, there is so much to look forward to, and we shouldn't forget that the First Nations investigation is historical.
British cyclist Geraint Thomas has maintained his 18-second lead in the Giro d'Italia. In a sign of the decline of international cricket, several Dutch players won't be playing for the Netherlands in the World Cup qualifiers due to county cricket commitments. 9:05, it's the latest news and sport.
Cameron's Jewellers custom design and jewellery remodelling specialist since 1998. Make an appointment today at cfj.com.au.
Coran Plumbing and Pumps, your Davy Pumps master dealer, and for all general plumbing. Mix FM local news.
Holly King with your local news headlines. Member for Murray Plains and Victorian Nationals leader Peter Welsh says roads will get worse in the regions following this year's state budget.
So a 45% cut in the road maintenance funding since 2 years ago. So over the last two budgets, now 45% cut in road funding. This year, down from just on $700 million back to $441 million. So the roads are going to get worse.
And in local sport, sporting legends Corey McKernan, Barry Hall and Shani Layton are making the trip to Ultima Football and Netball Club today, taking part in the club's Thursday night training and then speaking to players about Corey McKernan's not-for-profit organisation Walk With Me. The former North Melbourne two-time premiership player will be at the Ultima Hotel tomorrow night for a barbecue and meet and greet. And that's your local news headlines.
Your local radio station now designs and develops websites. From simple sites to full online stores. Head to ace.digital for more details.
123 Cheese. Get picture-perfect smiles with the help of Kerrang Dental Surgery.
The Great Australian Squeeze. Pure, fresh orange juice. Grown, squeezed and bottled in Barham. Sold in Woolies, most local IGAs and Foodworks. Mix FM weather.
Your 4-day forecast for the Mallee. For today, partly cloudy with a high chance of showers late this afternoon and evening. Winds north to northwesterly. Tomorrow becoming cloudy, winds southwesterly and 15 degrees. And across the weekend, Saturday, cloudy, slight chance of a shower and 16. And Sunday, cloudy, chance of showers and 17. Today around the Mallee, we're heading for a top of 19.
Holt's Mitsubishi Triton. Order now before the end of financial year. LMCT 235.
Right now, it's 11 degrees.